well, meaning that in other point systems where you might be thinking, do we want to take those shots? Do we want to sort of keep our position disclosed from anyone? They might not shoot, but here, believe me, people will shoot when they see cars. But there is game number 2 of Group B has started. Fair playing, to say the least. There are X amount of Western teams, so for those boys going over there, they will be very well satisfied. For Multipower team, might have a bit further to go, but shouldn't be a problem nonetheless.
And Riddle, they're going to be loving it. Once again, our winners from first game. Severny, nice easy drop for them to take here. No problems at all to start off with. Last time around, we saw Seek Org, they went for North George Pole. They actually had the 3D Max just above them in the south. Will we see the same thing play off again? Potentially looks like it as well.
I'm seeing one more team go out west, because 3D Max, they had South George themselves last game, but now Miacho and OK Pro, they're coming out in this direction. One thing I do see, though, Dino is not in the game, so Riddle, despite winning the last game, only 3 guys to connect to this one. It's unfortunate, we hate when it happens, but that is a thing nonetheless. But let's see, Western teams, of course, we talked about there being many. Kalimdor and Fenerbahce, they have made their way on down, but so has Krabik, Edelweiss, and Francario's team.
This is a little bit more of a cluster right this time.
But that's the thing, right? With these circle settings, we sort of cut off the early start, like phase of the game. Oh well, everyone's accepting this one. I was gonna say if the circle goes east, there's gonna be issues, but everyone's saying, you know what? You know that one game where we go west instead of east?
Yeah.
We liked that it was this one.
They were just feeling it. They're like, okay, yeah, we're not going to complain now. This works out for us.
Plain predictions, by the way. But I mean, when we had Group A, this is going to be really crazy because we had Group A, and we talked about how many teams that were up around Rosok. We had 4 teams, kind of the same split we see it right now. And here there are as well. So once we see the interaction in the finals with these groups playing each other, it's going to be tricky. But now Treo could be the first confrontation of the match. Combat has made his way down the stairs. Could be a surprise angle. We know the M16 is not the best weapon up close, but at least you can put a burst on it, and then it actually becomes a rather good quickfire weapon.
I love that as well, right? He pops the window. He's like, okay, gonna try and make you bait it out and see if you think I'm gonna drop down just yet. He's just waiting out for it, trying to see what's going on. Peeks around the edge. He's got to be ever so careful here because this is what it comes down to. It's a bit of mind games when it comes to this 1v1, especially so early on in a game like this.
For those of you guys who might be newer to PUBG, this was a thing you would do all the time before vaulting was implemented. People still do it. They figured out you can still jump up into the windows like this, but you used to crouch jump through the windows all the time. See down on the second floor, Treo trying to hold the ankle off. But I'm not sure if he wants to push this or not. I mean, he's an aggressive player, but whether he wants to push down on this or not, I'm not sure. You see, right now his teammates, they're coming in. He's just buying time as long as he can. Mailman is making his way up. X-Team is as well. He has the info. He's running around underneath. All you guys have to do is lure him out and shoot him.
And this is the thing, right? Trejo has a decision to make, and maybe now he's already made the wrong decision. Do you react fast? Do you go in for this? Or do you sit back? Because the longer you wait, the more opportunity there is for the other team to come in. And it seems like Trejo is going to be put massively under pressure here. This is not going to work out well for him at all.
It's a yellow submarine, I like the name. Big fan, big fan. Trying to make his way on down in support, but will it be too little, too late? And should he probably just get the hell out of here? If he wants to do anything, just start shooting now. I mean, get them distracted. Because right now they're all inside, and Trejo does get spotted through the window. Mailman secures the knock. UMP beast straight to the face. Extreme saying thank you for the kill. And Alpha and Yellow, unfortunately, not there in time. Did not manage to get the rest back on up.
Well, they won't all be living in a yellow submarine. It'll just be 3 of them now. So team's been picked apart. Trejo's gone down, and it's not the ideal start at all for them. Got to get it in there while I can, you know. Golden opportunities. If he stays alive for longer, I'll have a lot more fun with it as well. Why not? Why not?
There you go. Circle's just about 30 seconds out from closing on in Arsenal and Outlaw. They're trying to see if... I mean, they got all the S9 to themselves. Last group, we saw 2 teams splitting S9, but this time, I mean, I'm going to say there's loot enough for 4 teams in there. If they could agree on not shooting on each other, there would be plenty of loot for everyone.
Truce.
Loot, and then we go. Okay? Then we can fight.
One goes north, one goes east, one goes west, one goes south, and then we battle out afterwards.
I've actually seen tournaments before where you had a designated area that you could loot, and then you're not allowed. Like, then you cannot drop in the other people's area, and then you get like 5 minutes to loot before you can start fighting. It's very different, but it's kind of interesting too. Then you know for a fact that you have what you need to fight. Of course, sometimes here you don't, but with the added ammo, it's not the normal settings that you guys are used to on the public servers. So these guys, they will be rocking their ARs more often than not.
So already, right? We're just seeing teams that move around a little bit. Primorska's been looted completely, and they'll work their way up across the west side, follow the path all the way around, and get up north a little bit further here, right? Ensure that they know that there's no other teams going to be around that position, and this gives them a lot of information straight off the bat on how they want to push, as they've got plenty of time before the next circle pops. And this is like just more a benefit to them, right? Because it gives them so much room to work with, and there's a lot of space on this side of the map as well.
Also, the question here is, how do you want to play this? I mean, you see right now where Buster is, there's so many fields around the southern or western center, I guess you can say, of the circle. Then you have Pachinki, you don't want to go in there either. So where do you really play from? There are compounds there, but they're hard to get to. And at this point, if you're starting your rotation now, is when you got to be thinking, we must be beat to it, right? There must be other teams that are further centered than we are. Therefore, we cannot go all the way in. And if this circle closes up again, they're going to be thinking the same once more. Well, those compounds were taken before. There's no way they're leaving. So now we're forced out on the edge. And then you might see them in circle 4, circle 5 with some of these compounds completely open. Nobody takes them. Like, why don't you just go there? But it's like in the back of your head, well, there's got to be a guy there, right?
Yeah.
So they just don't need to take it.
And that's what the information is so important of, right? We've heard a few shots come from that direction. Okay, maybe we do want to go for it and take the fight, but if they've got a compound, no, it's time for us to just sit back and wait a little bit. Now we watch the crate drops down. Oh, there we go. We spoke about how many AWMs come in. We've also got the Ghillie as well. Plenty in there for them to play with. And Ivel looking to do some damage here. He's going to try and get the knock as well.
Nade in hand. That could be a big one.
Good.
Oh, Alpha. Your days are done, mate.
Smoke goes down, but it's not going to matter. Gets a kill, gets the other knock, and looking to get 2 points early on here. Ivel looking to do further damage, and he's not even going to go in for it. He's just nading galore. Why not?
Sometimes you're going to punch people to death, but he's like, you know what? No, I'm going to blow him the hell up. And indeed, that's what he does. Secures himself 2 more points for Sukladnam, coming off to a really, really good start. They had somewhat of a slumber start to the qualifier, so good to see them get things going here.
Now, this team that was on your screens right now, 7. They were going in hungry for kills on game 1. Game 2, a little bit quiet at the moment. There's plenty of teams around them. They're getting their loot up. Again, plenty of time, right? We're still at phase 1. But the thing here I want to see from them is, do they change that approach? Do they go in for it? Or are they going to sit back and try and get an additional placement points here?
See, Northern Lights, they're making their way in center. They had the center position last game, weren't able to really hold it. And now Sunsi seemingly in all kinds of trouble. You see Sinsen popping some more shots with his SLR, trying to take him out. Vehicle's already burning. That's not going to survive him alone, but Sinsen also has to be careful. We talked about this last week as well. You cannot just stand in the open and shoot like a madman. You need to have cover. Fortunately, as you can see, there are trees there, but that one could have gone wrong because they're already talked about. Dino not connected. Had they been down to 2 already, being on the northern side of the edge or the circle, that could be a rough rotation should it go south.
And they've got to be careful, right? There's a team also coming up on them from the east-hand side. So Riddle, they fired some shots. They are now giving away their position. They need to be ever so cautious.
I'm shooting some more. Outlaw team, they might just be able to engage on this. I mean, there are a team that will want to do it. Big question is going to be for them, do they just want to get the info and try to rotate around off of that, or do they want to try and get in on it? They're Outlaw already taking shots towards him. I believe that was Ness with the Mini 14 landing a shot up in his direction. So they've got to figure out, well, we've been spotted. Do we want to do this, or do we want to get inside the circle? Because we're still far up north. Look at the bikes. Look at the bikes. Don't you just like it? All the Group 8 guys in the chat are like, this is what we wanted to do all the time.
It's a whole new world for some of these teams. They're enjoying it as well. Why not? Now you can see a bit of decision-making being had here, right? They were looking around and they're thinking, do we go up or poke up on the hill, see what else is around us? We'll see what could be around this compound as well. Gain a little bit of ground. There's no reason for us to overextend just yet. And they're in a good position within the circle, so why not?
No reason for them to do anything overly aggressive whatsoever. New circle's about to pop, and why would you want to rotate if you don't even know if you're going to be in or not?
Ooh.
And they are. They're on the northern edge, but they have themselves a spot they can work from. Look at the dead center of it. You got Sukladnam in there, and they have to figure, how do we want to play this? It's a priority compound. Teams could be trying pulling up on this. We don't know exactly how a team is playing. If there's a greedy team, you talked about 7, they'd like to take these early fights if they can. Will they be pulling up on this, or will they not? They for sure need to hold them off. And you see Vasco actually in the vehicle now. They're rotating out despite having themselves a really good compound. Oh, no, he's just reparking it. Never mind.
Yeah, he just goes, okay, I'm not too happy, but I'll just sit there and I'll wait. They saw Game of Legion there. They're right on the edge, right? They're waiting for other teams to rotate in, see what they can get done there, looking for some extra kills, and we saw what they were able to do in Game 1. Let's see what they can get done this time around. Northern Lights, though.
Yeah, making the rotation on out. just gets away. Bull unfortunately misses those shots. They had a 2-2 split, and they were saying, you know what, we'll hold it until, well, okay, people are coming. Let's just get the hell out of here.
Smart,
yeah, smart, really smart. Sometimes you have these 2-2 splits where you're so far apart, you cannot assist each other, and you kind of get caught off. And then the team is like, do we want to help, or do we want to keep this compound that's actually good, even if you guys die and you can't really do anything? But here, close enough to each other to work things out, and smart for them to sort of just disengage on that.
Now, Northern Lights, they're not looking to be quiet at all. They're seeing players, and they're wanting to take them pop shots. Any damage being done is what they want to try and look for here, as we're not too far away from that circle to start moving in. And there's even teams still rotating now. Okay, admittedly, GL, they're making their way across, right? Timber and Co. just gone over the bridge. They held on for a while. They were in good position to see if any teams would come around them. Now they've pushed quite nicely into that southern circle. But look at Covefest, Higgy, Fovzerd, and Lolwo. They're all pushing up round. Taking the long route, but I like this. This is a good rotation for them, right? If you can work all the way up towards the north, or you can come in now if you want from the east, a lot of teams are never going to expect you to be taking that time. This is almost what we saw from Erangel, right, last time around.
They were on the western bridge. They stopped. They scouted it. They saw there are people on the other side. We're not going that way. Went the other direction. Normally, you say, oh, we're a military team. It's not on the military, so let's just drive over. No problem. No biggie. These guys must have rotated in already, right? Game of Legion thought, well, that's 4 easy kills for us. But nope, they played it really smart, took the long road. Sure, they'll burn through some meds, but that is going to keep them alive for that much longer. So smart decision from the CIS team.
Yeah, playing that longer game here, right? And also means they can sneak up on some of the other teams that are just in front of them. They might make sure that some of these teams who aren't as vigilant get caught off guard.
Yeah, very much so. You see here, 7 still trying to engage on this one. Phoenix pulled up in the middle and said, well, this is ours. And now they're finding themselves in between multiple teams. Seagull trying to get themselves some damage done. And once again, 3D Max down one guy early.
Yeah, 3D Max, not the ideal position for them to be found in. Furax is looking to do some further damage as well. He sees them from far away, and he's like, hey, if we can pick off one, let's go in for a second. And why the hell not? Going to get the loot from the Fallen player as well. Take advantage of that. And this is the start. I'm really liking what we're seeing from Corp so far.
Playing it smart, put yourself... I mean, you talked about how you saw some similarities with certain teams and then the way the Wizards played. These guys in Corp, once again, they're sitting themselves up on the edge, trying to see if they can find themselves some rotation kills. And, well, I mean, they're having success doing so.
And if it don't break, why not? You go for it. Keep it going. Work the advantages. Try and see if any teams are going to be that crazy to leave it in a position where you can get these pickoffs.
Yes.
You're so against
You just hate to see it. I hate to see it. But nonetheless, the circle does go northwest up towards Everest, just on the southeastern side of it. It's going to be in the open. It's going to be tricky. And for these teams that don't have compounds already, well, I can tell you right now, there's only 2 of them left, and they are in the middle. So good luck getting your hands on those. You see Riddle, they found themselves a good spot, or at least a spot on the edge of the circle, but in they are, and they can stay put for at least a little while. But you see that US right there, it's already smoking. You don't want to go inside of that again.
We've seen Tornado making their way across. Plenty of room to work with here, and no challenge going to come their way just yet. They've got a big rotation on their hands all the way around down the south side.
See on your map as well that Cofest and company, they are making their way far, far up and around the northern side. That's a smart rotation. And then play it smart, play it safe, and you can do these rotations. So if you have the bikes available, they really allow for you to rotate that much smarter. Yellow submarine does not belong on land, so says Ghost Legion as they go down and out. Unfortunate for them, but 16th place in game number 2. And Stella trying to see if they can get themselves some more kills as they're trying to maneuver their way up towards Church. Is still far on the edge of the circle, but as I said, with Riddle, at least they're in, because there are not a lot of compounds with hardcover in this circle anymore.
There's no man in the yellow submarine.
Well, they're in, but the yellow submarine's out of like in the water, and there's no water in the circle, so yeah, they died.
The disappointment when I saw him go down, but that's just the way it can go. Tornado's still making that long rotation all the way across, and why not? They've come all the way around from that eastern side, and they'll be looking to try and jump into some of these fights that are already going off. Riddle have got a lot of teams around them at the same time, and 3D Max that had that high ground position also pushing in. So this western side has become quite a cluster now where a lot of action could be going down.
Very much so. Tornado, we talked about it, a team that's never afraid to take a push, and they do so just like that. There you go. Page secure himself not only a knock, but also a finish off on Kofest. They tried to take that northern rotation, did not pan out the way they wanted to. Try to dive that center, and it's just too dangerous at this point. But this is the thing. This is what happens. You're in a situation now where you're like, well, either we're outside the circle in the blue and we're dying, or we're taking these fights because we have to, and we're only in circle 3.
Yeah, this is one of these like groups I'm feeling that's going to be so heavy on these kills. Everyone's going for it, any golden opportunity. And the thing is, right, they've learned a lot also from what they've seen from Group A. Not in terms of what the team did, but just the styles of play that worked and what didn't work.
Also, quick info for you guys who might just notice right there. There's been a change to the game that when you blow up a vehicle, all the tires get popped as well. Whether it's gonna have any impact on things, I'm not sure, but we saw it right there happen. Just something for you guys to keep your eyes on as we get through the games over the next couple of weeks.
Okay.
Interesting.
Okay.
New circles just
I'm trying
about
to think of how it would work out. Yeah.
Yep, there you go. That center is where we go. Now we have even fewer compounds than we had before. And, well, for the most part, it's going to be a huge field with where nobody wants to go. But if you want to go center, sure, go ahead. You're going to die.
Yeah, welcome to Frag City. Everyone on the side is going to be looking to get this done. Mold Man, he's not going to be able to find a Lolwo, who's just trying to crawl himself away to some cover. That is almost a free kill if they did try and find him.
Must get better placement. Crawl, crawl, crawl. Phosphorate is down there, but I mean, he needs to somehow be able to get that. That's going to be tricky. Cass goes down, so that might just buy them the time to get the rest. See, Phosphorate is running on up. Cass down on his knees, calling out for help, and seems like Jambaway will be there to help him.
There we go. Teamwork at its finest coming in. Still 15 teams remain, 54 players alive. 3D Max, though, they're stepping up, get the headshot onto X Team. That means Tornado are under a little bit of pressure as of now. The team that you can currently see on your screens, though, in Gamer Legion, they are a team that did so well in terms of kills, are currently leading in first place. They were looking to do some more damage here. And this kind of field actually could work out in their favor because it is very open and they can be hungrily popping in and taking those shots and probably taking those names as well. And that's exactly what this team's trying to do up against 3D Map. Hitrix is just trying to run away. He's like, no, okay, I'm just trying to avoid this. I'm a little bit too far away right now and I need to find some cover.
You cannot take the car either. It's simply too dangerous at this point in the game. Still 53 players alive in this sort of area. It's just going to be chaos on end. And this is such an interesting circle too, because you have all the compounds like around on the outer ring kind of in this circle. If this circle goes dead center, and well, it's not everyone, but the majority of players has to leave their compounds, it's going to be chaos. Absolute chaos, because we're going to have like 4, maybe 5, maybe 6 teams trying to go for the same one compound. They will have to, because there's legit nothing left to play with.
We're seeing Page not just get the knock, but also get the kill. Timber's getting taken down next.
Chaos, chaos, chaos. It's about to start still. They're on a rough rotation. Maul goes down. He runs over Jaxi in the process. So despite the fact that Jaxi gets knocked out a lot more into it, Game of Legion, they want to cross over, but Basket says, nope, not going to happen. At least not for right now. Still 4 players to be dealt with. The Hamster and McCann, they're trying to run on back, but now you see teams coming up from behind them. I believe that's 7 finally leaving the Red 2-story house as they want a third party on this.
Page and Ival delivering the pain there as they start to push up onto Gamer Legion. Hamster trying to get himself back up to a little bit of strength to try and take this fight, but he is heavily pinned down. Page working the advantage as well, moving around the tree, trying to get it work. This is really nice from 7. Again, trying to go in for the engagements, but they can't get the frag. They're hungry. They're very aggressive, but is it going to work out for him? Eldor looking to do some good damage there. But Smoke Down's going to try and make sure he can give his team some cover as they start to push up a little bit further. Good cover fire coming in as Buster pushes forward as well. This is brilliant positioning from 7. They're looking to end Gamer Legion right here, right now, as Hamster taking some damage. Heavily hit down, and Gamer Legion eliminated in 15th place after that solid first game. All things can turn around, and we're only at game 2.
But they have to keep going, and there are still plenty more fights to be fought. You see Eli's already shooting. That's going to be Ival down early on here. As the fight's just about to escalate, Vasco has got himself an AWM in hand. Now Page says retaliation is the name of the game here. I will get myself some damage done. Can I get more? Nature's starting to fly on in. That's a close one. He goes down low on Arsenal. He's from far out on the northern side. Takes him down circle. Shifting miles out in the open. We have 46 players alive, and there's only 4 people inside this circle. It's going to be horrible. Horrible with a big capital H on it. This is going to be tricky for all these teams trying to make their way on up.
That was really good from Oshtek Warriors Arsenal. Far from the distance, he manages to get a kill put into place there. Well, sorry, a knock actually at the moment, and they're both still up, but you can see the push is coming in. 7 are looking to try and end this, and they're going to look to try and claim those kill points that are in front of them.
And it messes it up so much for Nam too, because they had to, guys. They had the upper hand, but as you can see, there you go, down goes Page. Now it's all up to Vasco on his own to pull this off. What was a 2v1 is now potentially a 1 versus 3, because they were allowed to get the res on up, because Vasco all of a sudden was on his own. He jump away, trying to do everything he can to stay put. He's the last remaining player on his team. Gets himself a finish off onto Hidrick. Vasco holds off 1, but there's still 2 more players to go. Buster on the far side has to do something to stay put. Oh, he spots the head of Crab. He gets 1 HP. Down go he's as well. Vasco gets the 3rd guy, but then he gets him as well. Vasco! What an insane 1v3 clutch to keep Nam in the game for now.
Great work from Vasco there. Pops up just at the right time. He was tapping away. He knew he could see where they were. Not just getting 1, but the second player pushing out as well. And then finally, when he dropped up to full health, jumped out, and Vasco was in there to try and finish him off. Northern Lights, though, they keep popping up on this scoreboard. They've been able to get themselves pretty good positions so far. They're still down in the south, but there's lots of action going off across the board, as Melman is the one from Tornado Esports that will be finished off just there as well.
Inside games to try to get their way inside the compound. It's not going to be an easy push, because all by himself. Buzzword is nowhere near him. Now he does come down to assist, gets down Sunday, but there are more players to be dealt with. Still 3 players alive, and Phosphord all by himself has to push to prone, and now multiple teams are coming to see. On the northern side, Arsenal, they are making their way on down south, and in on the action they go. Vasco gets himself his 5th kill. The AWM comes in playing. Nam at 10 kills with just 1 player remaining.
Personal courage get eliminated. Not ideally, trying to back away, but there was just too much fire coming his way. Northern Lights looking to continue to engage here, and that molly actually works out. I think that's the first molly kill we've seen of the entire season. I was gonna say,
that's because just like the bikes, mollies has been re-entered in the game. They weren't in Group A, but now we get the mollies back in the game for Group B. Not fair. Says that's not fair. They go down, unfortunately, in 10th place. Riddle to follow them in 8th or 9th, make that actually, as they unfortunately do go down. And now we see the circle here. It's dead in the open. Everyone's on the edge, and the only teams that can really do something to extend and get a position would be the team Southwest, but that's not going to matter right now, because right now it's all about Abo and Aztec Warriors. I believe the guys from Saudi Arabia trying to do what they can, and they do it just right there inside games, down in 8th place.
Aztec Warriors, they were already third-partying a fair bit. They jump in, managed to finish off an entire team as well. It's looking good for them, not just in placement, but kills, as we've made our way within the top 7 teams remaining.
And they're far, far off. There are 3 guys alive. They have vehicles, so they could technically drive them on up, get themselves some cover, but there are going to be so many people shooting at them. The only team right now saying, you know what, thank the Lord for the circle, not other than 3D Max on the far, far northern side, it's going to be Sunsea and Seagull, because they came for this compound really early on, and they've sat here for the last 4 circles in a row.
Now, Fenerbahce had a rough game 1, but they're still in it, right on the western circle, taking a few shots from 3D Max's Waggo at the moment. But this team could be very interesting to play. They're trying to move these cars forward. Song's not doing it very smart here. They're trying to give themselves a bit of cover behind all these trees, and this is what happens when we're so far out in the open. You've got to find some opportunity, some sort of place to hide it, because there is no compounds left other than the one that's already been taken in, and you don't want to try and fight for that just yet. But the Aztec Warriors, you can see on your screen, they might want to try and do it.
Get themselves double vehicle explosion to it right there. More shots are being fired. Northern Lights, they needed some cover, but there's no cover to be found. Fenerbahce saying 1 goes down, 2 goes out, 3 goes out. It's all up to Perfect to see if he can do something. It's in his name, but it's going to be a tough one.
And it's all well and good having the cars, right, for some cover, but if they blow up in your face, that's not what you want to see. That's not the damage you want to be able to take either, as Fenerbahce are heavily under pressure now. They've got a good position, they've got a good bit of cover to work with, but everyone knows exactly where they is, and this is what happens when we're fighting in the open. All these teams make their way in, and it's everyone just taking pop shots. Who's going to go down first?
See Aztec trying to make their way over on the eastern side. They do still have the compounds to deal with, but they're pretty well contained in there. Arsenal has been on point with the DMR so far today, and Bullen is one more victim to fall for just that outlaw. Trying to pop over the vehicle through the windows, trying to see if he can get some damage done, but not a whole lot more to it. Noki getting in on the action now, and all of a sudden it looks very, very grim for Phoenix.
Outlaw tapping away, still able to do so much damage. Top 5 teams remaining. Aztec Warriors looking to try and make this their big game. They've got 8 kills already.
And they have a chance to do so as well. They have a decent spot. It's going to be up to the next circle shift here. If it goes anywhere on their side, they're in all good sorts of Well, they're in a good position because they can push down underneath. You can see nobody can really see them from the dip down towards where Phoenix were. Only issue becomes for them if it goes northwest. They have a lot of different teams to fight off. First, they have to deal with the compound team in Seagork. Do we want to wait for them to come out, or do we want to try and push in and kill them? Circle though shifts exactly where they want it. Somewhat center, but down south they have a good position. They have that entire ridge line to work with. And now, if you're a really wise team, you're gonna start spreading out.
Yeah, because there's a lot of rotations to be played into here, right? There's a lot of teams that have got to make their way in. That compound's now been taken away. This makes it very difficult. It's who's going to be caught out in the open. And straight away, Sunzi comes in and he's like, I'm going to finish off 3D Max now. We're going to get this done because they have to move before us.
I like the off angle we saw from Furix right there. Keep 3 guys in and by the compound, leave 1 out on the edge. Proning, he will be the element of surprise for your team. Now you got Fenerbahce trying to make the run on it, but that's not going to work the way they wanted to. Rampage coming in for Abo as he gets himself his 5th kill of the game. Sun goes down as well. All of a sudden, we're down to just 2 players to Fenerbahce as that run goes down to then Calibur goes down as well. Now all of a sudden, Seagork from the top of things getting on the action.
Oshtek have to be ever so cautious because Sunzi and Corp start to move their way out and they're looking to bring the pace. Seagork might not be looking for an org if they can keep this performance up. Further damage coming in and Sunzi, he's on the hunt. He's looking to do some further damage. Only 1 more player to find, but he's looking to get the kills in there as well. He knows how important that can be.
All the knocks in the world coming in, points to be accumulated for Seagork. They try to get some more. Arsenal, fortunately for them, already on the offside angle here, but he's going to be dealing with 3 players, potentially. If he's going to start shooting in them on up, we'll see if he's going to try and see if he can save it. The only issue is for him, for Fenerbahce, if they peek on over, I'm not sure there'll be foliage where he is, so it'll just be him on a pancake. Pretty much, there'll be no grass for him to hide it.
This is a
but
good
Swan, he
opportunity.
goes for the aggressive shots. He gets the knock on towards him too. Try to see if he can tap it down, but there's still 3 more players to be dealt with him once again. You are a turret. You are a prone target. Easy one for Sunzi to say thank you. I will take that, and out goes Osik in 4th, but great game from them.
Yeah, a lot of kills. Good positions, smart chances there, but Seagork, as soon as they came out of that compound and they heard what Oshtek were doing, they were looking to try and fight it. We've got 3D Max, we've got Seagork, and we've got Fenerbahce left, but Shaxi on Fenerbahce is all alone.
Look at that late game crate for Shax. He gets himself not only level 3 gear, but an AWM and an open ending. That could be the difference, Mega Nogi. If he wasn't dead already, he's gonna be now. And down he goes. Shaxi secures himself a double. Out goes 3D Max in 3rd place. Great game from them, though. Didn't have a lot to work with. Lost 2 players really early on, and they still get into 3rd. Shaxi all by himself now. 1 versus 4. Good luck, buddy. You have the level 3 gear, but it's not gonna be enough, and down he goes.
Yeah, kind of an anticlimactic end for him there. Shaxi, if he could have pulled that off, probably would have been the greatest ever.